Have you guys noticed that there's something strange about the way violence looks in this century? It doesn't arrive as chaos anymore. It arrives as language, reports, statements, briefings, carefully worded sentences describing things that, if you strip the language away, would be almost unbearable to read. Since 2023, tens of thousands of Palestinians have been killed in Gaza. The vast majority have been civilians, many of them children. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to rubble, and basic infrastructure, water, hospitals, power, has repeatedly been destroyed or pushed to collapse. And still, the world argues about framing, about terminology, about context, about whether the description is balanced enough. As if balance is the issue when bodies are still being pulled from concrete. This is one of the defining patterns of our time. If something is explained well enough, people begin to tolerate it. We've learned how to translate suffering into something consumable. A military operation, a security necessity, a complex situation. All phrases designed to make sure you can keep watching without feeling like you have to stop. And it works more often than we admit. Because most people are not indifferent. They're just overloaded, conditioned to move on after each new headline replaces the last. But underneath the language, the reality stays simple. If tens of thousands of civilians are killed in a short span of time, if entire populations are repeatedly displaced, if survival becomes a daily negotiation with destruction, then something has gone beyond the boundaries of what words like defense are supposed to mean. This is not about denying history. But a society does not get a permanent exemption from scrutiny because its origins are painful. And no state, no matter its story, escapes responsibility for what it has chosen to do with power in the present, because this is the part that people struggle with, not the past, the present. Because the present forces a harder question. At what point does protection stop being protection and start becoming something that reshapes the world around it in ways that cannot be justified by the original fear anymore? And the uncomfortable answer is, there is no clean moment where it flips. Only a gradual normalization of what once would have been unthinkable. That's how history usually works, not with declarations, but with repetition, until what once needed explanation no longer seems to need it at all. And maybe that's the real issue of this decade. It isn't that we don't know what's happening, it's that we've become very good at knowing, and still continuing anyway.